Major update: there is more problem for Jnr Pope's family as the community where he drowned is demanding that his body be buried at the bank of the river where the accident occurred. Also, the only Nollywood actor who survived the boat accident could also be in trouble because some people are blaming him for the accident because of some things that he did whilst the boat was moving on the river. Let's begin with that of Jnr Pope's family. Some people in the community are insisting that they must bury him in the river because they believe it is necessary for his children and the community's well-being, unless there will be serious spiritual consequence and heavy repercussions. His family doesn't agree and won't give up his body. The community went to the hospital to get his body, but the doctor in charge refused and locked his body in a private room and locked the door. Some other group of people are saying the family should take the body to a specific shrine before 2 a.m. where a certain herbalist in charge of the river will supposedly bring him back to life. Emeka rulers and some Nollywood actors are there currently pushing for the body to be taken to the shrine. It is also confirmed that 5 people lost their lives in the Nollywood boat accident. The accident happened on the 10th of April, where the body of Jnr Pope was found together with one other person. The following day, which happens to be the 11th of April, 2 more bodies were also found. That is the body of a makeup artist and then another young guy who is a sound engineer on the movie set. The body of the last person has also been found. There is uncertainty as to whether Jnr Pope's family are going to transport his body back home for burial, or he probably may be buried near the river as the community is demanding. Also, it is not clear who will be held accountable. It is rumored that if the family does not bury him close to the river, there will be serious repercussions. For the bodies of the others who were found in the river, the community is demanding 2 cows and some miscellaneous in order to buy some items and perform a ritual to appease the spirit god of the river, in order for the families to be able to take their dead bodies home and then bury them home. If not so, they have to be buried at the scene of the accident, that is the bank of the river.
It might continue tomorrow again because I don't know for some reason they said the gods of the water are really angry. I don't know why they are so angry. We don't know what transpired in the boat that was crossing them, but for some reason the people in charge of the water are angry, and that is why they have requested for 2 cows. So they requested for 2 cows for sacrifice. They've requested for 2 cows for sacrifice. You know, we don't know. The major challenge now, we have to provide these people with 2 cows, and they will have some other things we have to buy, like all those things they use for ritual purposes and sacrifices to appease the spirit god in the river to let us take the dead bodies to their family. I'm just praying it's going to work, because if 2 cows and a few other things are what we'll have to provide to take our late dead bodies to their family for them to bury them.
When it comes to that of Jnr Pope, not just that is demanded from the family, but it is rumored that nearly 40 million naira is demanded from the family before his body will be released for them to bury him in his hometown or wherever they want to bury him, and if not at the river bank. And some things are not adding up personally for me, in the sense that all of them were involved in this accident. Why would just 2 cows be asked of the other people's family, whilst that of Jnr Pope, maybe because he's popular and maybe because they think they can raise that kind of money, that is why they are demanding for nearly 40 million naira from the families. Some things are not adding up for me. There is an update that the bodies of the 2 that were found later in the day, that is the body of Abigail, the makeup artist, and one of the crew members, has been buried beside the river. We're all thinking that Nollywood would raise money for this purpose, but it didn't happen so. Some people tried raising the said amount, but they couldn't raise it on time. So Abigail, the makeup artist, and the camera assistant guy has been buried near the river. From the TikTok page of Abigail, she is a lady who is earning a decent and an honest living. It is said that she is from Akwa Ibom. Her family were not able to raise the money because her parents are not well to do. She is the only graduate in her family, trying to make ends meet and change her story and that of her family. She is like the breadwinner of her family. You could see videos of her on her TikTok page during her graduation with her mom and dad. So this young girl who had a bright future ahead of her has suddenly been truncated. You can imagine how the family feel, the pain of losing a future family star. It is very sad. My condolence to the family. For that of Jnr Pope's body, nothing has really been said or done about him. If the community demands the same 2 cows and the miscellaneouses that will be used for the rituals, I believe his family will be able to provide that amount, and also the 2 cows in order for his body not to be buried at the bank of the river, and his family can take his body to wherever they want to bury him. But it is rumored that the community is demanding for nearly 40 million naira, which probably may be a bit too high as compared to the other ones that they were just demanding only 2 cows. So that is it. If only 2 cows is being demanded, I believe the family, loved ones, and fans of Jnr Pope will be able to provide that, so that his body will not be buried at the bank of the river where the accident occurred. Now let's shift our attention to TC Virus, one of the actors who survived this boat accident. There are other survivors of this boat accident. The director of the movie survived. The captain of the boat also survived. 1 or 2 actresses also survived this, including TC Virus. And among the survivors, it seems almost all of them are pointing fingers at TC Virus for something that he did that may have caused the accident. Is it really so that this could really have caused the accident? There are 2 claims that are being levied against TC Virus, that those 2 things may have triggered the accident to have occurred. First of all, or first claim, is that TC Virus stood up whilst the boat was moving, and this could have caused the accident. Now, when the incident occurred, or the accident occurred, the police came to the scene, and then the captain of the boat, during the interrogation or investigation, revealed that one of the actors stood up in the boat, and that obstructed his view from seeing that there was another canoe that was passing by. And so this caused the accident. There is a video that shows TC Virus actually standing up in the canoe whilst it was moving. He was standing up in the canoe, but I don't believe that the accident occurred at just one point when the video was taken whilst he was standing in the canoe, because you could see that whilst he stood up in the canoe, he sat back down. So if the accident occurred while he was standing, it implied that he might not have stood up only once. He probably might have stood up 2 or 3 times or multiple times, and maybe the accident occurred when he stood up the last. But one thing that I would also want to put across is that with that of the captain, you know that he standing up in the boat obstructs your view. So why not send a note of caution to him so that he does not even stand up again and will sit down throughout the entire journey? I believe they are just trying to shift blame in order not for them to be punished or anything of that sort. But I don't think that's the right time for blames to be apportioned. Secondly, the second claim is that he also rang a bell while the boat was moving on the river, and this might have upsetted the river god. There is a video to that effect also that shows TC Virus standing in the boat, raising up a bell, and then ringing whilst the boat was moving. Could this also be true, that this is the cause of the accident that happened that fateful day? That is what some people claim, but this can also be picked from different angles. There are a lot of interpretations coming from this thing. I think they are coming from the spiritual point of view. That first of all, it was a market day in the community, and ringing the bell on the river on a market day probably may not be right for the river god. So this might have upsetted the river god to cause the accident to happen. But let's also look at it from this angle. There are some people who also were saying that ringing the bell also meant that we are passing, some people are passing on the river, something like that also. So let's also take this into consideration. If the river god caused the accident to occur because someone was ringing a bell, the question is, why didn't TC Virus die? If he was the cause of the problem upsetting the river god, why didn't he die? And he was able to survive and even help some of them stay afloat. And then he did not die, but meanwhile other people died. I think this goes on to show that probably that is not the reason why this accident occurred. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Share your views and your thoughts about this, and let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. I would like to see you in the next video, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just click the subscribe button down there, click on the subscribe button, click as well on the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.